Stefan and April with you. If you are in the market for a new home or if you are thinking of selling, where are we really with the market? Real estate market analyst Fabian Calvo joins us on the 850 KOA Newsline. Good to have you. Good morning.
Stefan and April, thanks for having me.
You bet. What are these numbers telling you? What's the past few months telling you to maybe look ahead the next few?
Well, I mean, definitely the information looks rosy on the surface. However, there's still a tremendous amount of toxic debt on bank balance sheets. Many states still have a real foreclosure problem. In Denver alone, you still have close to 3,700 foreclosures just in Denver. That doesn't account for the 30 to 90 day past due. So there's still a problem. But when you have 0% interest rates and you have a lot of stimulus helping the market, you're going to eventually create another real estate bubble.
Well, and also it took years to get into this position. It was 2007 when we started to see that downturn, and now we're just really starting to get out of it. So, will it take that many years to completely, I guess, get back out of it?
Well, that's a really interesting point, April, because when you mean get out of it, really what's at play here is government manipulation by big banks that are suppressing inventory and having price. That's how prices are going up. They're not releasing all the foreclosures or all the bank-owned properties they have on the market. History shows us that manipulation at these types of level usually end pretty bad. That's why I think for the next 3 to 4 years, we may see a run in real estate prices and everything look like it's a recovery, but I think it'll be short term.
Let me ask you this. You are the founder of, it's called The Note House. It's a firm that, according to your information, buys and sells distressed residential and commercial non-performing loans. Let me ask you from, I guess, your perspective today, could you look back in 2008 when nobody knew what a subprime mortgage was? Did you see that trouble on the horizon, or were you just as surprised as everyone else?
Well, definitely. We saw people that were not only buying one home, but were buying multiple homes as investment properties on a $35,000 a year income. And so if something happened to their job, well, how are they going to service the debt ratio if they lost a few tenants in some of the rental properties? I think early as 2007, we started to see a lot of problems in the housing market with just the cheap credit. And, we're starting to see that again. In the last year, a third of all loans by the FHA were basically no money down loans or loans with just 3% down. That typically leads to higher defaults when people don't have any skin in the game, as they usually say.
So would you say buying a house now, if you're settled, you've got good credit, all of that, you've got money in the bank, is it a good time to buy and make that an investment?
Yeah, well, our advice is this. We don't believe a home purchase is an investment, right, April? Because you have to pay for the landscaping, the insurance. So it's actually money out of your pocket. It's more of a liability. But if you can afford it, you have good credit, you could put a decent down payment, and it's a home that you and your family will love to live in, and I think go for it, right? Take advantage of the rates at historic lows, because they won't be at historic lows forever. However, you need to know that, if in 3 years, 4 years, prices begin to go down again because interest rates are going up, and when interest rates go up, housing prices go down. And if that doesn't worry you because you're in it long term, then I think it's totally fine to buy a home and to get advantage of like I said, a good mortgage and at a good low rate.
And finally, we got about 30 seconds left with you. If you are somebody that is fortunate enough to own property and maybe you're the landlord, rental market in Denver, really on average, the rent per month is extremely high. Translation, good for the landlord in Colorado.
Well, it's good for any educated investor, Stefan, that wants to get into the market. It's a wonderful opportunity for investors to get educated. That's why I put out a program all about this called the Resourceful Real Estate Academy. Educated investors can do really well. They just have to know what they're doing. But yes, rental rates are going up and will continue to go up along with everything else with inflation that inflation brings.
What's a good website for you if people have more questions?
They can go to the resourcefulrealestateacademy.com or the notehouse.us, and I typically get back to all my email and with any questions about the market or any way I could be of service.
All right. Thanks, Fabian. Have a good day.
Thanks a lot.
Fabian Calvo, real estate market analyst, 5:55. We're back with Money News and Greg.